Part 6 on how to join the elite. Now this one, and I think some guys have pointed out that I look like that I work out and tend to keep myself in a decent amount of shape, which I will not argue with. Even though I do have an appetite, and that sort of prevents me from having the epic six-pack that you see in magazines and a lot of bodybuilding competitions. I will say that I am in a decent shape to the point in which I feel confident enough to take my shirt off in a public setting. At the very least, take my shirt off. There you go. Pants stay on. But for a lot of you guys who are wondering why you may not be attracting the best women or why you may not have the best confidence, it's probably because of your physical looks. And I hate to say this, but looks matter. I think some of these PUA guys who are telling me looks don't matter, looks don't matter, looks don't matter. Why are you worried about looks? Stop looking at yourself. Stop touching yourself. Never mind. But looks matter, and the only people who are telling you that looks don't matter are the people who, one, advocate tricking, or two, advocate time wasting with approach. I may make a part on that, but looks matter. Looks are the thing that gets people's attention, for better or for worse. And in order for you to achieve, at the very least, presentable looks, you're going to have to work on yourself. In my last part, in which I emphasize on time efficiency, one of the things I advocated strongly was working out, especially during the time in which nobody else works out. And if you are fortunate enough to be up and have enough time during the night in which you can work out, especially on weekday nights, do it. But I know a lot of people work the 9 to 5, so and a lot of people probably don't want to be up at the gym on 11 o'clock on a Tuesday evening. I get that. I wouldn't recommend that neither, because working out before going to bed is probably not the best strategy for your sleep. But Friday and Saturday nights are two nights in which I strongly advocate that if you are not either asleep or making money or having a warm bed, then go to the gym, work out. But I'm going to go into detail on diet and exercise in this video. So for diet, a lot of you guys think that you need to eat like a rabbit, or worse, a hipster, in order to get into decent shape, in order to lose weight. And in many cases, that's not necessary. That will not be necessary. I am not the kind of person who's going to tell you to go on this diet and that diet and such. But there are certain principles that I would recommend and follow. Reduce your carbs as much as possible, especially your white carbs. If you insist on getting carbs, get wheat. Eat wheat. Fats are not the worst thing in the world. Particularly good fats. Fats that come from olive oil, from your almonds, peanuts, cashews, whatever. Those kind of fats, I would highly recommend them in moderation. Sugar, get rid of it. Unless it's cane sugar, do not touch it at all. Avoid it at all costs. Salt. I would get rid of iodized salt as much as possible. Actually, salt isn't as bad as sugar, but it is something that I would not recommend. Sea salt, if you insist on having salt, is the way to go. Or some sort of seasoning on your food. And if you need seasoning on your food, the food you're buying probably sucks. And I would also recommend that you buy a higher cut of whatever food you are eating. If it's chicken, buy a better brand. If it's fish, well, fish. Doesn't really come. Honestly, I don't need seasoning to my fish. I just like the taste of fish. I know that's gonna sound weird, and I'm gonna get hit up with all sorts of DMs from. Never mind. But seafood, as well as poultry, I stick to those two as your main sources of protein. I would avoid red meat as much as possible, personally. And I know it's hard because red meat is all around us and it's cheap. But for me, I stick to your chicken, your turkey, your seafood. I know seafood's more expensive, but it's well worth it. Especially if you are on it, I wouldn't say strict seafood diet, but I would replace a lot of your red meats with a lot of your seafood and a lot of your fried chicken, your fried things in general, which is baked things or steamed things. Stay away from fried foods as much as possible. Alongside that, avoid sodas at all costs, unless it's cane sugar. And even then, I would limit my intake of cane sugar-based sodas. High fructose corn syrup, fuck no. Sweeteners, like your aspartame, there you go. Fuck no. Anything else? Nitrates I would highly watch out for multiple reasons. And alongside that, those are some of the basic things that helped me lose 70 pounds several years ago. I was 245 pounds at one point. But with modification in my diet and changing up the things I ate, or changing how I ate certain things that I wasn't willing to give up, I was able to lose a decent amount of weight in a short amount of time, as a matter of fact. And alongside that, don't be ashamed to take certain supplements. If it's a caffeine-based supplement that will help you lose weight, that's okay. Don't be ashamed to take it, especially if you're losing a small amount of weight, or if you want to lose a good amount of weight in a small amount of time. But make sure you look at the reviews first. Don't just go buy any random ass thing without doing your research. Look at the reviews, specifically on Amazon, to see if anyone has gotten any heart or health conditions following taking some sort of thing. And also, check with your doctor before you take any sort of supplement that hasn't been approved by the FDA for mainstream use. I know I'm sounding like a doctor, but I highly recommend. I don't want to be liable for anyone who takes any sort of new generation version of ephedra and ends up dying. Which, by the way, don't take ephedra. Alongside that, as far as diet is concerned, fruits and vegetables. Make sure you have plenty of them. And eat them raw. I know it's probably not the best thing in the world. A lot of you are, if you've had vegetables, or if you're raised around eating vegetables for lunch and dinner, a lot of you probably had it cooked or steamed or whatever. But eat them raw. The reason why I say raw is because a lot of the nutrients and a lot of the benefits from the vegetables and the fruits you eat are from raw variants of them. Cooking them gets rid of the majority of the beneficial nutrients and minerals that are found in fruits and vegetables. So as far as working out, especially if you haven't gotten to the gym, I would emphasize in cardio first in order to build your body, in order to get your body in shape. And don't wear yourself out. I mean, if you just need to do a 15-minute workout, that's fine, or 15-minute cardio run, that's good. And as much as people tend to use treadmills, do not do treadmills. Don't. Only because constant treadmill usage will wear out your legs. And a constant usage of that throughout years will fuck up your legs. I would instead go for ellipticals, cycles, and other machines that do not put pressure on your legs and on your knees. Alongside that, as I said, 15-minute variables. I'd say do 30 minutes at the very least per day, if you can. Or an hour every other day. Of just whatever pace you feel like running or walking. Not even walking, but just running, cycling, whatever. After that, after you get your cardio down, then I'd hit the weights. But I would not do weights. If you are a new person at working out, I would not do weights without a trainer. You can look at all the bodybuilding forums and the do bros and the workout bros say do this, do that, do such and such, but nothing beats a workout trainer. At least at first. Now, they're going to insist on you having like 15 lessons and all that stuff. You probably don't need more than 5 if you're good. Say 3 to 5, 3 if you're really good, but I'd say 5. I tried going for 5 lessons, learn as much as you can, learn the basics. Basics about warming up before you work out. Basics about not overworking it. The basics about just how often you should work out and so forth. And then after you get the basics, then I would maybe talk to your friends, talk to other trainers, maybe go on one of these do bro bodybuilding forums to mix it up a bit. Especially if you're not seeing results or the kind of results that you like. But these are the things I did personally in order to change myself from a 245-pound guy who relied on his friends mostly to get chicks, along with the occasional, well, not just occasional, frequent stay at the library to get the nerdy foreign exchange girl or girl from another country, to getting higher quality chicks with this kind of body. But if I can do it, you can do it. And as I said, I'm not the biggest expert when it comes to what kind of workouts you need to do, what kind of cardio you need to do. This is just a start. I'd say, and especially for you guys who are already doing this, great. But do not slack and always look for ways to improve yourself. Whether it's research, whether it's finding workout channels to go on, do whatever you can in order to stay on top of your game. And do whatever you can in order to keep yourself motivated. And if you want a motivation, I should have probably said this in my last video, for time and for exercise. If you need a motivation, especially for you guys who are willing to work out on Friday and Saturday nights at some 24-hour gym, after you work out, and you want to look for that, especially if you're doing weights and you want to look for that, if you're going for like some sort of chicken sandwich or whatever, or protein shake at your local CVS or Dwayne Reed or Walgreens, and especially if it's near some sort of nightclub or nighttime spot, you look at the people, particularly the guys, who are just coming out of those bars. 1, a lot of them are in average shape at best, and 2, a lot of them, for all the money they tricked out and spent, don't have anything to show for it. Versus you, who probably won't be going home to a warm bed, but at the very least, you have an excuse. You have a reason. Not even an excuse, a reason for why you skipped out on what the normies and masses, lowercase m, uppercase, everything else, why you didn't do what they did. You have results. And that's the ultimate thing that you can do. That's the best thing you can do for yourself. And look at those people. And look at how much of a waste not only they did to their times, but I hate to sound brutal, but what a waste of life. Not their lives, but a waste that they're doing to their own lives. So if you need some motivation, after you work out on a late night, go to some random street and just look at the people who are just wasting their time and wasting their precious years on this earth while you are one step closer to joining the elite. For everyone else out there, always bet on X.